In a distant future, centuries after galactic war veterans overthrew the world's governments and established the militaristic Global Federation of Earth, humanity is locked in a tense diplomatic standoff with an alien race known as the Arachnids, or bugs as they're commonly called on Earth. The Arachnids originate from Klendathu, one of the several planets they inhabit on the far side of the Milky Way galaxy. The story begins with military organizations continuously releasing video ads promoting the opportunity to fight for humanity's future. These ads frequently showcase soldiers in the heat of battle, displaying their weaponry and skills against the bugs. However, when the bugs manage to retaliate against the soldiers, the footage abruptly cuts off. In a classroom on Earth, Professor Rasak is lecturing his students on world history and the significance of the military. Meanwhile, Rico is distracted, busy sending silly doodles to his girlfriend, Carmen. When Professor Rasak calls on Rico with a question, Rico answers correctly, but is still scolded for merely parroting the textbook instead of demonstrating real comprehension. After class, Rico and Carmen head to check their math exam results. Carmen, who has been diligently preparing for her dream of joining the Fleet Academy, is thrilled with her high scores. Rico, on the other hand, is dismayed to find he scored only 35%. His friend Carl can't resist teasing him, magnifying the score on the screen for everyone else to see. Carl then asks Rico about his relationship with Carmen, pointing out that Dizzy Flores also has feelings for Rico. However, Rico is focused on Carmen. Later, during biology class, they dissect an alien bug. The teacher emphasizes the bug's superiority over humans due to its rapid reproduction and selfless instincts. As Rico extracts the bug's organs, Carmen turns away in disgust. Oblivious to Carmen's disgust, Rico hands her the bug's organs, causing her to vomit, much to Dizzy's amusement. In the afternoon, Rico tests his psychic abilities with Carl, a renowned psychic who can even communicate directly with his pet through mental messages, making it obey his commands. Carl tries to train Rico, but Rico lacks the skill and fails to guess Carl's cards. However, Rico excels as an American football player, and tonight there's an important game. During the match, Rico notices an opposing player named Xander flirting with Carmen. This drives Rico to play aggressively, determined to ensure victory. The team captain reprimands him for being distracted, but Rico's jealousy only fuels his determination. He steals the ball from Xander and secures the win. In the afternoon at Carl's house, he tries to train Rico's psychic abilities, but Rico struggles and fails. Carl mentions that they still don't understand why some people have these abilities, which is why the university conducts federal studies. Carl's pet ferret causes a disturbance with his computer, prompting Carl to use his psychic ability to send it to his mother, which the ferret obediently does. Carl notes that he can't perform that kind of manipulation on humans yet. The next day, Carmen cheers as Rico plays in the school's jump ball game. Rico dodges an opponent, accidentally crashing into the audience while scoring a touchdown. The opponent, Xander Barkalow, gets up with Carmen's help. Intrigued, he asks what she's doing after the game. Carmen mentions the dance, but Xander is unsure if he can attend as he's shipping off to the Fleet Academy the next day. Carmen is excited because she plans to attend the academy too. When Xander returns to the game, Rico confronts him for talking to his girlfriend. Rico gets distracted when the game starts, allowing Xander to tackle him. Xander scores a touchdown, putting his team in the lead. Frustrated, Rico joins his team's huddle, but notices Xander talking to Carmen again. The game resumes, and Dizzy throws the ball to Rico. Xander pursues him, but Rico reaches the goal line and scores, winning the game. Back at home, Rico's father confronts him about signing up for federal service. His mother argues that soldiers get killed, while his father insists that he should go to Harvard instead. Rico asserts that it's his choice. Before things escalate, his parents suggest going to Zagima Beach to see the galaxy after graduation, which makes Rico reconsider. At the school dance, Dizzy invites Rico to dance and flirts with him, but he insists that they remain friends. Rico excuses himself to thank Rasak for inspiring him to enlist. Rasak advises him to make up his mind, since choice is the only true freedom they have. Soon, Rico finds Carmen talking to Xander. They politely address each other in front of Rico before he pulls Carmen onto the dance floor. While dancing, Carmen shares that Xander wants to become a pilot like her, and Rico admits his jealousy. Carmen assures him there's no reason to be jealous. Rico decides to join the federal service, and they share a kiss. The next day, Rico, Carmen, and Carl sign up for the academy. Carl joins games and theory to train for military intelligence, while Rico signs up for mobile infantry. They vow to remain friends despite being light years apart. When Rico returns home, his father urges him to resign from the academy. Rico refuses, so his father cuts him off financially. His mother expresses concern that Rico is enlisting because of Carmen, which angers him. The following day, Rico meets Carmen at the airport, where he announces he's been cut off. Carmen sympathizes, but Rico is resolute in his decision. Rico confesses his love for Carmen, and she hesitates before reciprocating. They share a kiss before Carmen boards her flight. Days later, Rico gathers with his fellow recruits under the watchful eye of their drill instructor, Sergeant Zim, who complains about his new squad. When recruit Kitten Smith laughs, Zim orders him to run laps. Zim challenges someone to knock him down, and Breckenridge volunteers, but Zim easily breaks his arm. Suddenly, Dizzy arrives, informing Zim that she transferred because she heard his unit is the best. When Zim questions her qualifications, Dizzy challenges him to spar and lands a few hits before getting pinned down. At the cafeteria, Ace Levy cuts in line, and Rico reprimands him. Dizzy tries to strike up a conversation with Rico, but he brushes her off, accusing her of tagging along. Dizzy denies joining because of him and walks away. During training, Rico and Ace compete to become a squad leader, but Dizzy kicks them off the platform. In the showers, Kitten asks everyone why they enlisted. Breckenridge wants to avoid a life as a farmer, while Jana plans to enter politics. When it's Rico's turn, Dizzy reveals that he enlisted for a girl. Meanwhile, Carmen receives a video message from Rico and excitedly heads to her training, piloting an aircraft into the fleet battle station Ticonderoga. Later, she boards the Corvette transport ship Roger Young and finds out that Xander is her instructor. Carmen ejects from the ship and maneuvers a sharp turn inches from the station to enter warp for Jupiter. Back at training, Rico and Dizzy are caught in a capture the flag game against Ace's team. Dizzy suggests a sports technique, allowing Rico to defeat their opponents. Impressed, Zim notes Rico's skills and promotes him to squad leader. Rico later thanks Dizzy for her help. He receives a message from Carmen, who's currently in Jupiter's orbit. She reveals that she plans to pursue a career to command her own ship, meaning she can't return to Rico. She tearfully apologizes and asks him to write back so they can remain friends. Rico finally admits that he signed up because of Carmen, but Ace reminds him that he earned his promotion on his own merits. Rico led his squad into a live ammunition combat simulation, but trouble arose when Breckenridge's helmet malfunctioned. Rico removed it to inspect, and Jana accidentally fired her weapon while stumbling from a laser hit, tragically hitting Breckenridge. Rico, feeling responsible, was relieved of his command and publicly reprimanded for removing Breckenridge's helmet. Jana, overwhelmed with guilt, decided to quit the squad. Zim, however, stood up for Rico, leading to him being publicly lashed instead of discharged. Meanwhile, Carmen proved her prowess as a pilot by optimizing their navigation, impressing Xander, who hinted at a deeper connection within the team. Just then, they encountered an asteroid heading towards them, and Carmen skillfully navigated the ship to safety, but not without some damage. Xander reported that the asteroid came from the dangerous Arachnid quarantine zone, prompting the captain to order a warning signal despite their communication failure. Despite the challenges, the captain commended the flight team for averting disaster. Back at camp, Rico, grappling with guilt and the consequences of his actions, decided to resign, feeling he had joined the squad for the wrong reasons and caused Breckenridge's death. His decision was solidified when he received a call from his parents, inviting him back home. Suddenly, the call cut off as Rico saw his parents' house go dark. The soldiers watched the news as a meteor from Glendathu hits Earth, causing massive destruction. Dizzy and Rico are shocked to see their hometown destroyed. Zim volunteers for combat, but his commander insists he must be demoted first. Rico, motivated by the loss of his family, decides to stay. Understanding Rico's determination, Zim tears up his resignation form, welcoming him back. At Ticonderoga, Rico reunites with Carmen, who explains that their breakup was necessary during wartime. Xander, Carmen's new partner, provokes Rico, who punches Xander after he crosses a line. Carmen intervenes to stop the fight. Later, the squad bonds with matching tattoos, preparing for battle. During their journey, Carmen detects plasma beams, dismissed by her captain until the beams down several infantry ships. Carmen navigates through wreckage, but hits a plasma beam, forcing the mobile infantry into combat against the giant bugs. The squad faces an arachnid that kills a soldier, leading them to retaliate fiercely. As they retreat, their commander is killed, and Rico survives an attack, believed dead by Carmen. Rico's wounds are treated, and he meets the Roughnecks, a unit led by Rasak, who plans an offensive on Klendathu. The next day, the fleet attacks Tango Urilla, and the soldiers kill any survivors. After defeating a big bug, Watkins keeps shooting even after it's dead. They fire a missile into a bug hole and help take down another big bug, but a tanker comes out and burns Birdie's arm with acid. Rico climbs up a cliff, jumps onto the tanker, and blows it up with a grenade. Rasak promotes Rico to corporal. Rico offers Ace the role of squad leader, but he declines because he froze earlier. Dizzy steps up instead. That evening, Rasak treats everyone to drinks and entertainment. Dizzy asks Rico to dance, and he agrees. Later, they become close, and Dizzy confesses her love. Their moment is interrupted by a distress call, and Rasak says they're leaving. Seeing Rico and Dizzy together, Rasak gives them more time before they have to go. The next day, the Roughnecks reach Planet P. A hopper bug captures the sergeant, and Rasak ends his suffering, telling the squad to do the same for him in similar situations. Rasak promotes Rico to sergeant. They find the outpost attacked, with bugs in the communication tent, and General Owen explaining his situation. Rico suspects a trap from the distress call. Arachnids attack, killing General Owen and others. Rico calls for pickup, and as their other ship arrives, Rasak orders evacuation. Arachnids breach the outpost, and Rico reluctantly puts down Rasak when he's mortally wounded. Dizzy kills a tanker, but another bug stabs her. Rico and Ace rescue her, but another tanker arrives, and they retreat. Rico holds Dizzy as she passes away. Carmen discovers Rico is alive, and they plan to ask the fleet to destroy Planet P. Their captain refuses. After Dizzy's funeral, Carl shares intel about a brain bug on Planet P. Despite their disappointment, Carl reminds them of their duty. Rico becomes lieutenant of the Roughnecks. The Roger Young is destroyed, and Carmen and Xander escape. Rico confirms Carmen's survival, but sees her captured by Arachnids. Rico cancels a rescue mission, realizing it's too late. Unbeknownst to them, the Arachnids keep Carmen and Xander alive. The Roughnecks enter the tunnels, Rico sensing Carmen's presence. Rico leads Ace and Watkins to rescue her, and they encounter the brain bug. Watkins sacrifices himself, triggering a bomb that kills the Arachnids. They discover the captured brain bug, and Carl senses its fear. Rico believes Carl used his psychic skills to know Carmen was alive. Carmen is promoted to captain, and Rico continues leading the Roughnecks. With the brain bug captured, military intelligence begins studying it, and hopes grow for defeating the alien race. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.